What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Justin Jefferson returns to practice for the Vikings right ahead of the Saints showdown in Minnesota come Sunday. Jake, so right now what this means, you return to practice on Wednesday, which activates a 21-day window, because remember, he got pushed down to IR. When you go on IR, you got to miss at least 4 games.
Yep.
He missed the 4 games. They won all 4 games, and now he returned to practice on Wednesday. So now they have a 21-day window in which to re-elevate him to the 53-man roster. When you're coming back from IR like this, Jake, and you return to practice, does this mean, do you believe that he will be immediately returning to the field or to game day?
Right.
Or is this like an extended ramp up?
I don't necessarily think that. In fact, if I'm them, I'm going to make sure he is fully healthy. And I'm going to take a look at every situation. I'm going to take a look at weather. Yes, weather, because my next game is in Denver. In November. What does he have? He has a hamstring. What's one of the hardest muscles to warm up? A hamstring.
Yeah.
So I'm taking with my franchise player, I'm taking a look at everything, right? No stone is going to go left unturned. I want to make sure that if he's coming back, that I've got everything covered. And you might be like, they don't care about the weather. I promise you they do. They're going to look at all of those type of things, right? And so you get Chicago at home in your indoor stadium coming up on November the 27th. So it almost feels like if he didn't play this week, he's not going to play next week, and he'd play for the Bears. And so we don't know. I mean, hamstrings are tricky, man. It's one of those nagging injuries that can just stay there all season long. It's kind of like an ankle. It's not, it's not one of those ones where once you're healthy, you're healthy. It's still, a likelihood that you could re-injure your hamstring. And so I don't know, man. It would feel rushed if he came back this week to me.
Well, okay, and to your point, Kevin O'Connell was asked if there was a chance that if Jefferson could play as early as this week, and that's exactly what he said. He said, quote, that would probably be a little aggressive. So even though Jefferson returning to the field of practice, I don't necessarily expect him to return to the field of play, but I don't know that it matters, because while we are sitting here and talking trash about the Vikings and Josh Dobbs and the Saints got to win all these games, they're going to get all these bad quarterbacks, I feel that, but this Minnesota Viking team has currently won 4 in a row without Justin Jefferson. And again, yes, a lot of that is with Kirk Cousins, but what a weird league the NFL is, where you lose your best player at 1-4, you lose your quarterbacks at 4-4, and now you find yourself at 5-4, having beaten, and how about this, Jake, 3 of the 4 games on the road.
Yeah.
You beat the Bears on the road, you beat the Packers by 14 on the road, and then, of course, you just beat the Falcons in Atlanta. And, again, granted, this is with Kirk Cousins, you beat the Niners at home in that stretch. So you are now going into the building where they just vanquished maybe the best team in the NFL. So, like Josh Dobbs or no, you are catching a very confident Vikings team right now that has the longest win streak in the NFC.
And so when you have a player that gets hurt like that, and he's undoubtedly your best player like Justin Jefferson is, well, you have to have people step up. And then if they do step up, then it pays off in the long run. Like Hawkinson at tight end. When Jets went down, he stepped up. His numbers are as good as any at the tight end position, right? He's played incredibly well. But also Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
First-round pick.
Been great.
They spent, obviously a lot of draft capital on him. 41 catches, 534 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Damn.
He's got 7 touchdowns. Chargers drafted Johnson out of TCU. I don't know if he has 7 catches before Jordan Addison. And so that's the player for them, T-Bob, that stepped up. A lot of people thought it would be KJ Osborne. It hasn't been. It has been Addison and Hawkinson at the tight end position. And they've just, whatever offense Jets left when he got hurt, well, they've picked it up, and that's why they've been able to win. A big reason why.
Well, and then, having the NFL sack leader doesn't hurt. Daniil Hunter, LSU great, who got like 1 sack at LSU, continues to just be an incredible NFL pass rusher. I think he had 4.5, Mar. That's kind of the joke, though, is that you have a guy who might get 100 sacks in his career. Actually, give me a Daniil Hunter career sack stat. I want to see where he's at. But, yeah, you have a guy who's been one of the most dominant pass rushers of the past, 5 years? And he didn't do anything at LSU. Anyway, so I feel good about, look, the bottom line is I'll take this Saints defense against anybody, especially Josh Dobbs.
81 already.
81 already. How many years?
It's got to be. I mean,
8?
Yeah, I
years.
think 8. Yeah.
81 sacks in 8 years, and he's not done with this year.
10 sacks. I'm just saying, 10 sack a year pace is insanity in this league.
He went 6, 12.5, 7, 14.5, 14.5, 6, 10.5, 10.
So sorry, go ahead, Taylor.
In 18 and 19, he had back-to-back 14.5 sack seasons.
So just understand that Andres Pete has been better. Our guy's going to have his work cut out for him at left tackle against Danielle Hunter. I want to see Ryan Ramczyk as well, who seems to be reclaiming Ryan Ramczyk form. How will he perform? Like you mentioned Hogson and Addison, and they've been very good, Jake, but I'll take the Saints defense, right? Like I'll take the Saints defense. I am worried about the Saints offense moving the ball against this Vikings team. So we will, Mara, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, their front seven's been pretty good. Despite, the injuries on offense, they've been solid, kind of keeping them in games. So the offensive line, who has shown improvement, like you said, definitely will have their work cut out for them. Curious to see if the Saints can start to run the ball a little better. If they can't, they might get themselves in trouble against that pass rush.
The only way they can run it is by adding Taysom Hill and then allowing him to give you numbers, it feels like, this season. But maybe they can get it going. It's going to be a good battle in Minnesota. We'll continue to preview it throughout the week, but do not expect to see Justin Jefferson this Sunday, even though he just returned to practice. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.